Hello, friends. How are you all? I'm sure you all are doing good by the grace of God, isn't it? So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening in different parts of the world as we are speaking and in the lesson Speaking Effectively. We are here to discuss the point how to speak effectively. The point today we're going to study is tell us what life has taught you. Yes, you heard it right. Tell us what life has taught you. Speakers who talk about what life has taught them never fail to keep the attention of their listeners. I know from experience that speakers are not easily persuaded to accept this point of view. They avoid using personal experiences as too trivial and too restrictive. They would rather soar into the realms of general ideas and philosophical principles, where unfortunately the air is too rarefied for ordinary mortals to breathe. They give us editorials when we are hungry for the news, isn't it? None of us is averse to listening to editorials when they are given by a man who has earned the right to editorialize. Yes, to editorialize. An editor or publisher of a newspaper. The point, though, is this: speak on what life has taught you, and I will be your devoted listener. Mark the point. The point is: speak on what life has taught you, and I will be your devoted listener. Everybody likes to listen to the real facts of life, isn't it? And it makes the whole thing interesting. It was said of Emerson that he was always willing to listen to any man, no matter how humble his station, because he felt he could learn something from every man he met. I have listened to more adult talks, the adult talks perhaps, than any other man west of the Iron Curtain, and I can truthfully say that I have never heard a boring talk when the speaker related what life had taught him, no matter how slight or trivial the lesson may have been. To illustrate, some years ago, one of our instructor conducted a course in public speaking for the senior officers of New York City banks. Naturally, the members of such a group, having many demands upon their time, frequently found it difficult to prepare adequately or to do what they conceived of as preparing. All their lives, they had been thinking their own individual thoughts and nurturing their own personal convictions, seeing things from their own distinctive angles, living their own original experiences. They had spent 40 years storing up material for talks, but it was hard for some of them to realize that one Friday a certain gentleman connected with an uptown bank. For our purposes, we shall designate him as Mr. Jackson, found 40 4:30 had arrived. He found 4:30 had arrived. And what was he to talk about? He walked out of his office, brought a copy. He bought a copy of Forbes magazine at a newsstand and in the subway coming down to the Federal Reserve Bank where the class met. He read an article entitled, "You Have Only 10 Years to Succeed." He read it not because he was interested in the article especially, but because he had to speak on something to fill his quota of time. An hour later, he stood up and attempted to talk convincingly and interestingly on the contents of this article. What was the result? The inevitable result. He had not digested, had not assimilated what he was trying to say. Trying to say? That expresses it precisely. He was trying. There was no real message in him, seeking for an outlet, and his whole manner and tone revealed it unmistakably. How could he expect the audience to be any more impressed than he himself was? He kept referring to the article, saying the author, Zion in it, but regrettably little of Mr. Jackson. Yes, he was speaking about the authors and said so and so. There was a surfeit of Forbes magazine in it, but regrettably little of Mr. Jackson. After he finished his talk, the instructor said, "Mr. Jackson, we are not interested in this shadowy personality who wrote that article. He is not here, and we can't see him. But we are interested in you and your ideas." Yes, mark the point. We are interested in you and your ideas. Tell us what you think personally, not what somebody else said. Put more of Mr. Jackson in this. Would you take this same subject next week? Read this article again and ask yourself whether you agree with the author or not. If you do, illustrate the points of agreement with observations from your own experience. And if you don't agree with him, tell us why. Let this article be the starting point from which to launch your own talk. Mr. Jackson, he reread the article and concluded that he did not agree with author at all. He did not agree with the author at all. He searched his memory for examples to prove his points of disagreement from his own experience as a bank executive. He came back the next week and gave a talk that was full of his own convictions based on his own background. Instead of a warmed over magazine article, he gave us from his own mind. Yes, currency coin in his own mint. Yes, this is the thing. Instead of warmed up magazine article, he gave us ore from his own mind, currency coined in his own mint. I leave it to you to decide which talk made a stronger impact on the class. So here is the final word that we have to speak from our own heart, from our own experiences, which makes the talk interesting. because people like to hear our experiences, our own words, and our own way of presenting it. So, friends, here it says we have to speak effectively, and also, as we saw at the point, that we have to not just speak what others say. We have to be natural and tell us what life has taught you. Yes, as the topic is for today. So, practice, practice, practice every day, friends, and stand in front of the mirror, speak loudly for 15 minutes or half an hour, read an English book, and converse with your friends in English. Let anybody laugh or cry, doesn't matter. We have to practice, because practice makes a man perfect. And be motivated and do not quit in life, whether it is English subject or anything in life, any problems. Just trust God and be confident, and victory is surely there. Okay? So we are climbing up the stairs of success every day, and we are aiming to be an excellent English speaker, an excellent public speaker one day, and we will achieve the target together, isn't it? I feel very happy when I am there with you all, and we learn and understand the English language, and also we are progressing every day. Okay? So be positive, and God bless you. See you tomorrow again, the same time. Till then, take care. Be fit, be healthy, be strong, and be happy always. Yes, see you tomorrow. God bless you. Bye bye.